thank you guys for covering this event and for the work that you folks do here today. Let me start by saying this is an issue I didn't know a lot about before I got elected to the United States Senate and began hearing about it. And really it came to the issue on an international scale about the human trafficking and modern day slavery. You know, when we think about slavery, we think it was something that happened 150 years ago. In fact, it's going on today all over the world. But then I realized it's going on today in our own backyard. That in fact South Florida, and in particular Miami-Dade County, is one of the leading places in the country for human trafficking. And certainly sex slavery is real, but also in labor. And I think that's something that we pay attention to as well, are people that are trafficked for labor purposes, brought to this country under false pretenses. What Christie House is doing is they're helping victims. And that's what these young, mostly girls are. They are victims. Too often in the past they've been treated as perpetrators. They're arrested as prostitutes or unfortunately involved in that, what they call the life. And the reality of it is that while they may appear to be there willingly, they're really not. No one grows up and says they want to be a prostitute. They find themselves in unfortunate circumstances that trap them in a lifetime. Trapped by violence, trapped by drugs, trapped by both. Oftentimes they come from broken homes, but sometimes they come from regular suburban families. The fact is it doesn't discriminate, but it's devastating, its impact. Oftentimes in the past, when law enforcement has had to interact with these girls, they've had nowhere to take them but to a juvenile justice facility. That's going to change now. Now they get to go to a safe harbor, so a place where they will be treated as victims, not as perpetrators. And by the way, let me say that in order to deal with this issue effectively, I've learned that people need to be shamed sometimes. So I want to take a moment today to call attention to one of the most egregious things going on across our country, and that's Village Voice Media, who runs a number of newspapers around our country, including the New Times here in Miami-Dade County, and actively advertises the services of many of these young girls. Actively. You can go on there and buy a human being for 2 hours. And you can do that on advertising going on in newspapers being printed in this very town by Village Voice Media. It is an outrage. We have sent them bipartisan letters from Congress asking them to stop it. They have received letters from mayors all across the country asking them to cut this out. Unfortunately, they make millions and millions of dollars selling human beings in newspapers and online in this country, and it is an outrage. So I hope those who are watching here tonight will place a call to the New Times and to Village Voice and ask them to stop running advertising where you can buy human beings here in the United States of America, here in Miami-Dade County.